to be able to show their stuff, and they certainly have shown their stuff in every event. The obvious question is, what's the effect of the elements? I think once you put great athletes on the track or in the field in any event, and they'll perform and get the job done, and they've shown in every event that there's a reason where they're world's #1 team.
Then you talk about Ashton and his performance and how that might have moved you a little bit. I heard you in tears.
Well, I don't want to get going again. It was I kept it all together throughout the event until I happened to find myself 3 feet away from Roz Eaton. If you all know Roz, at the drop of the hat, she's in tears, and of course, we embraced, and so yes, Curtis, I did. I lost it. That's right. Okay.
Then 4 years ago, it was gorgeous at the trials. Now it's been pretty crummy weather. Are you concerned that this weather is going to maybe hurt you guys when they award the bid for the next one?
I guess I look at things the same way as I coach. And that is, you control the controllable and don't worry about the others. And as a result, as we look at it, some have told me that this was great planning because it's great preparation for London. And last time the meet was in Beijing, and we had hot weather, and it prepared us for Beijing. So for Rio, someone will have to tell me what the weather is in August of 2016, and we'll provide some of that.
Have they opened the bidding process yet? And you guys submitted an official bid for 2016 trials?
USA Track and Field asked us to provide for them. We asked them we told them that we would provide for them a bundled deal. They did put out an RFP for 13 and 14 and 15, and we submitted one for 13, 14, and 15 and 16. And we host the NCAAs here and the World Juniors. We host the NCAAs here in 2013 and again in 2014. And so 15 is certainly something that we have an interest in for the U.S. Championships, and we certainly have an interest in 2016.
What's the single biggest reason it should be here in Eugene?
21,000 people sitting in ponchos and not missing one step of the way, and choosing not to forego and sit around and watch TV, but to come here and be part of the action at Hoover Field.
Ben, how would you like to see the women's 100 result?
There's been so much talk about the women's 100 that I think I'm really excited about watching the women's 200 and watching the other events leading up to it. I don't really know. I think they have it's a difficult dilemma. The likelihood of having a tie to the thousandth of a second, I'm sure is pretty minute, but yet you have it. And I think that there's enough people that are involved in the decision-making process that I think it'd just be more of a problem for me to offer an opinion.
Besides Ashton, there have been a lot of former Ducks and current Ducks who have done well. English just making the finals. What's it like for you to watch all that?
I think when we looked at this program 7 years ago, and this is exactly what we envisioned, minus the raindrops, but we certainly hoped that we would have a big Oregon contingency in here. But I think in the end, what this is all about is, whether it's an Oregon athlete or a non-Oregon athlete, I think our crowd and our spectators appreciate great track and field. And whether you're a javelin thrower or a shot putter, a long jumper, look at Marquise Goodwin in the long jump yesterday. He jumps 8:33 in his last jump, wins the thing, and our crowd goes nuts. He has absolutely no affiliation with the University of Oregon. I don't know how many times he's been to the state of Oregon, but I do think that our crowd appreciates it. They appreciate great effort, and they appreciate people competing to the best of their ability. So I think it's a fantastic advantage for every kid.
Can you then talk about the synergy of Tracktown USA with Nike being here, of course the tradition, and tie that to the popularity of the trials being here?
Well, I think that when you look at track and field, you look at it a couple of ways. First of all, you look at it globally, and I think if you look at the United States team's popularity in other parts of the world, it's not a whole lot different than it is here at Hayward Field. I think we do represent, even though it's a small population, and some would say there's a dying breed of track and field fans. Yet I think in Eugene and in Tracktown there is that appreciation. And I think for the sport to remain healthy and to continue to be the United States to be the world's #1 team, we need to keep it in an environment which is spectator-friendly, fan-friendly, media-friendly, and have the athletes performances be appreciated. And I think that Tracktown USA and the synergy with Nike, of course, this is the birthplace of Nike, so it's great for the folks at Nike to see where their company came from and where the sport continues to go. When track and field is healthy, so is Nike. And I think that when you look at what Nike has put into the sport globally, it's pretty impressive. And we're just fortunate that we're only 100 miles south of the world headquarters.
Outside of Eugene, do you think that there's more interest and appreciation for America's best track athletes abroad than there is in the rest of the country here?
You know, I don't like to speculate on what others think about something. I would say that the only I could say is it seems apparent to me that in this community, in this town, in this place, in Hayward Field, it is appreciated, and it's a major sport here. This is not an afterthought. This is, I think when just watching some of the other events that I've seen, I've not seen any crowd, any group embrace the sport as much as they have here in Tracktown.
When Ashton set that world record the other day, was that the most electric you think Hayward's ever been in your time around?
Well, certainly I've been to Hayward Field many times, and I think last time somebody asked me if that was the 800 last year was the most electric time. Up until Saturday, I think that might have been. But Saturday, watching that 4 minutes and 13 seconds of the 1500, even though it was a compiling of 10 events, that last event, 4 minutes and 13 seconds, and there was enthusiasm in the crowd and around the entire facility for all that time. It was, pretty electrifying. It was the best. Was for me.
Could you talk about the other thing that made that special was having the past champions here, and I mean the odds of everything coming together like that.
Well, it was storybook, Dick. It was a storybook. You bring the Olympic gold medalists back, and you look at the start of the 1500, and standing at the start of the 1500 is Milt Campbell and Rafer Johnson and Bruce Jenner and Dan O'Brien and Jim Thorpe's sons. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Bill Toomey.
And Bill Toomey, don't forget him, 1968. But great stuff. So, I don't know that we could have scripted it any better than that. 100th year anniversary, all the Olympic gold medalists here, and Ashton Eaton sets a world record. He goes to the University of Oregon, comes from Lapine, Oregon. I mean, if you listed all the things there, you wouldn't be able to capture it all. So it was fabulous.
What are your goals, coaching-wise and managerially, immediately after the trials? Like, what does your next 6 months look like?
I'm just waiting to get through the next 6 days, and I think what I'm going to do is open up an umbrella stand pretty soon and see if we can make a few bucks. We've checked about 2,000 of them.
They're not allowing umbrellas in the
That's what I mean. We checked 2,000 of them. We have them, and when people come back to claim them, they all say they have a black umbrella. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. My next role will be to see who makes a team and then go from there.
Now, what do you think USA Track and Field can do better marketing the sport, getting the sport attention, in the 3 years that aren't Olympic years in the country?
Well, I think that the United States in particular comes alive in an Olympic year, and I think we ride those coattails each year. And it's like any, I liken it to whether it's an NCAA or high school thing. Anybody, any marketing plan, any PR group, any media outlet can promote football and basketball if everybody's already interested in it. It's the sign of true marketing and true ability to be innovative and creative is to market the sport of track and field. To me, I think that we have the best sport in the world. I believe firmly in our athletes and our team and our coaches. I think we need to do creative things. We need to make sure that our meets are media friendly. They need to be able to take place in a window of time that can be marketed, that can be concise, can be crisp, and can be broadcast to a greater view, and that we're more mainstream than we are, and not accept the fact that we're just a niche sport, because I don't think we are. We're not globally, so we shouldn't be in the United States.